feels like every week ChatGPT gets a little bit better with new features coming out, and that's only going to continue. The latest one to come out is custom GPTs that allow you to create your own version of ChatGPT by uploading documents, giving it instructions, and giving it a base to work from. I recently met with Kat and I showed her how to set up her own version for her business, creating landing pages and funnels. Let's have a look.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm here with Kat, and we're going to talk you through how to create your own version of ChatGPT, which is what they call on ChatGPT. They call it a GPT, confusingly enough. So, hi Kat, how you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Cool. So we spoke about this before, but we're going to try and recreate you, basically, aren't we? We're going to as a landing. You write landing pages. That would be a fair assumption, and you write marketing funnels.
We design and build them, yes.
So we're going to have a go at creating a tool that would help you design landing pages that you can, use to create content, hopefully in your voice or in your style. So first, what we're going to do is going to come in and we're going to go to My GPTs. So you have to be on the paid version of ChatGPT for this to exist. I'm going to create a GPT. We can give it a name, Cat landing pages. And then we can go into create. So first of all, basically this section is where we give it the information, this configure or this create section. We give it the information of how we want it to act and basically set everything up so that when we're ready, we can then save it and we can actually then share that either via a link. We can publish it to the GPT store. So we can actually, particularly if, as I mentioned, there's Andy Lambert from Social Cow, and now who works for Adobe, has written a book about social media. He's created a GPT where basically you can ask questions of that GPT and it will give you answers aligned with the principles from his book. So if you're looking for social media advice, great way to do that. And I know he's made that available for free. So you essentially get an interactive book from the author. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to ask this. The style and tone will be in line with landing page expert. Was it Ollie? What was the name of the person we came up with?
Oh, what was his surname? Is it Gardner?
Yeah, that was right.
So I know he's the Unbounce guy.
And what we're going to do is we're going to train it using your landing page for the format. And basically what we're going to do there is we told it that this is someone who writes that we like. And here's the format that we're going to have. So we could also upload. So if we were going to use Ollie Gardner as the example, we could have actually uploaded the Unbounce landing page template that they have. We create that as an image. So you can upload documents, images, basically to train it. So for example, if you had brand guidelines, you can upload the brand guidelines. If you have these, it just wants to rename it and give it a fancy graphic. But you can basically you're giving it its brain here and its reference points of information. Now, I know we've spoken about this before, Kat, but it's never going to be perfect. You're never going to just be able to put it in. It's just going to snap create what you want, because if it could do that, then we become redundant, right? If this gets to the point where we're not required to give insight and thought, then we're going to struggle. So what we're going to do now is get it to ask questions before we start writing landing pages. When we request to write a landing page, ask us questions. You'll need information before we get started. So what we're basically saying here is, well, give us the information first before we create that. So
This is so cool. Like magic. I love
it,
the way it's doing the little like updating the GPT. I'm like, oh, magic at work.
what I'm going to do now is ask it to create a landing page and see if it follows that.
Hmm.
Here we go. Look, it's asking for a bit more information.
Love that.
So as we discussed now, if you wanted to, as we said, you can share this either with people with a link. So you could create something like this for your client, send them this. They could then create landing pages, but it would ask them for the information it would need. And because you've defined this, you could give them a heads up and go, before you start this process, here's a worksheet that you complete, so you know we have. Make sure they do it on the computer, and then that way they can just upload the worksheet and go, this is what we want to do.
Yeah, love that. So are they better off uploading it as a document versus like copying and pasting it in?
They can copy and paste or upload it as a document. It doesn't matter. I like doing it as a document because then it looks a bit, you can edit it a bit better. You can make sure the structure's right and that you've got all the information you want. So the other thing here is we can configure, so we can see here what we've given it. It's now given a description of what the instructions are. And we can actually give it the the pre-fill questions that it will come up with once we create it. So we can give it lots of different instructions of what you want it to do.
Oh, I love this. I've got so many ideas of how I could use this for me, creating content for me, but also for clients. Like, this is going to be a game changer.
So as we said here, we can upload when we've uploaded things in here, then they'll be visible as to what you've got. So you've got this living, breathing thing that you can update. So even once we publish it, if it's not giving you what you want, you can come back in and edit this to give it more information or more background. Or if you create these documents to kind of support it, then great. So I'm even going to ask it, what could I upload here to help you meet my goals of creating amazing landing pages? So it'll now tell me what we could put in here. So this is the other thing about ChatGPT. If ever you get stuck, ask it, and it will give you some ideas. So again, fortunately, I've predicted it. Brand guidelines. I could give it some images, logo files, or copy or content, some stuff that you're interested in, landing pages that you like, previous landing pages that you've done, so it understands what you've done well, what you haven't done well. And then once we've done that, we can click create, anyone with the link, or I can publish it to the GPT store and I can share that. And don't worry, Kat, I will share this with you so you can have a play around as well.
Are there any types of files you can't upload? So, when you're saying like these are all the things. So I asked you before, we can upload images and it can read that as well as like written documents. What about like videos or anything
At the
like that?
moment, I don't believe it has the capability for videos, but we're writing that this is the 5th of April 2024. What happens in a month's time could be very different. And of course, that then changes the game. But if you have a video, you can always just rip the transcript.
Yeah,
and then
that was my plan. I'm just thinking because I've got customer testimonials from videos. So
yeah. But again, yeah, you can just get the transcripts of those and you can kind of go look, so if you were creating it just for you, you could upload 5-10 testimonials and then it will know to pull from those when you go, make sure you include in the landing pages testimonials. So yeah, the thing I would say about this is, as I said, this is being recorded beginning of April 2024. This might look very foolish or very amateurish in April of 2025 because the pace of change is stunning. So yeah, I mean, as you mentioned earlier, Kat, you asked me, when have you been able to upload documents? It's like, well, a couple of months, it's kind of,
Yeah, I didn't even notice
yeah.
that. Hilarious.
And there'll be other stuff that's going to come out. And, this GPT is maybe a few months old now, but it's getting, this is the worst. I explained this to you. This is the worst version of this technology you will ever see.